So let's talk about the use of wide-angle lenses with full-frame DSLR cameras versus digital crop sensor cameras. I find that this topic, the use of wide-angle lenses, is possibly the #1 source of misinformation as it pertains to full-frame DSLR cameras. A lot of people will think that in order to get wide-angle shots, you have to use a full-frame sensor camera. After all, a digital crop sensor has a smaller sensor, and thus it crops the center of the image a little bit, and then your image isn't so wide angle anymore. So for example, let's say you're using a 16mm lens. Now on a full frame camera, that's ultra wide angle. That's about as wide angle as you can go before you get to fisheye. But if you put that 16mm lens on a digital crop sensor camera, suddenly that wide angle isn't so wide anymore. So this leads people to believe that in order to get a wide-angle shot, you have to have a full-frame camera. But this is simply not true. You can get wide-angle shots on digital crop sensor cameras. You can get wide-angle shots just as wide as you can on a full-frame sensor camera. The only difference is you use a different lens. So whereas a full-frame sensor might need a 16mm lens to get an ultra-wide shot, a digital crop sensor camera just uses a 10mm lens. So for example, let's say you have a 16 to 35mm lens on a full frame camera. Well, on a digital crop sensor camera, you just use a 10 to 22mm lens and you get the exact same field of view. So when it comes to wide angle lenses, neither one wins out. They're even Stevens on this because you can get just as wide angle a shot on full frame as you can on digital crop. So neither one wins out here. Wide angle, doesn't matter which system you have, you can still get it. Check out part 3 of this video series talking about telephoto lenses on full frame DSLR cameras.